everyone, I am back from my long absence from the blogosphere. I have so much to tell you about what has transpired since my last post. I went to Vermont and it was a lovely experience. It was really difficult but also wonderful. I lived in a house with 3 other cast members and it was called Grandma's House, and we all became really good friends and experienced a lot of good things together and got close in different ways, and I miss them a lot. I miss our little vibe that we had down there. So yeah, we lived there. We lived at Grandma's house, and all the cast lived in little houses around Quechee, which is Quechee, Vermont, and that was just like, I don't know, like a 15-minute drive from our theater, which was in White River Junction. And we were doing Evita, and it was great. It was so nice to be doing a show and to relearn who I am as a performer, and also think about the things that I want to become and the ways that I can do better and everything. So I wish that, the experience was more, the whole experience, I would say, became more about me discovering who I am outside of that, even than just like the show. Like, I learned so much about myself and the kind of things that I need to change and the things that I need to work on. One thing that was difficult that I really did change and work on a lot was my diet, my eating habits. I read this book called Intuitive Eating, and I've had problems with eating in the past, and this book like really changed my life, like my day-to-day life, because it was all about getting rid of thinking about dieting, like not dieting at all, and remembering what things matter and what things don't. Like, it's important to be healthy, but our society is so like caught up in the way that people look and comparing yourself to other people that we get anxious about food, and we diet in the name of health, and in most cases we're not really being healthy. We're dieting in the hopes of losing weight and looking a different way and being this specific other idea of what we should be, when really we should just be us. Like, we should just be ourselves and eat when we're hungry and honor our fullness, and trust the signals that our body gives us. Like, if you're craving protein, have protein. If you're craving sugar, have sugar. If you really want some ice cream, have some ice cream. When you restrict yourself so much, those forbidden things become so desirable that you can't wait to eat them, but you don't let yourself eat them. So when you finally eat them, you overeat, and then you feel really guilty, and like, it's just eating. It's just eating. It doesn't need to be like that. So I took that whole journey and have been trying to be healthy in that regard. I'm also brunette now, as I'm sure you notice, and those of you who are Facebook friends with me would have noticed sooner. I changed my profile picture to a Photoshop version of my headshot that Ellen Marshall is my friend from college, but her husband, Neil Cook, photoshopped that headshot, and it looks great. It looks awesome. Thank you, Neil. So yeah, I'm brunette now, and I think that this is a good fit for me. I think it's still a little weird. I'm still not totally comfortable with it. I think my bangs are a little short. They're gonna grow out. But I really like them when I push them to the side, or if my hair's up. Like, if my hair's up and I have them out on front, like that. It's cool. I've gotten the comment that I look like Betty Page. I should probably look that up and know who she is. So yeah, I changed my hair for the show, but everyone's really liked it, and I've really liked it, so, I don't know. I think I'm still getting used to it. Like, I like it, but sometimes I miss being blonde. A little. But anyway, I think it's a good career move for right now. It's a good thing to explore and figure out and kind of like go into. So I'm doing that. I had a lot of auditions that I sent in videos for while I was gone in Vermont, and one thing that I'm hoping to be doing is called The Ride. I don't know if it's going to come through yet, so cross your fingers, but they said they'd be calling me later this summer, and it's basically a tour bus that goes around New York City and stops at certain places, and all the seats in it are in like a proscenium, so like if this is the bus, like everyone's facing like one side, and they go around the city and they stop at places and watch performers on the street. And there's this one girl who sings about being on Broadway and how she wants to get to Broadway. She's singing about that, but it's also kind of literal that she is actually looking for the actual street. So yeah, hopefully that all plays out. I think it should be a really fun thing if I get to do it. And it pays fairly well, which is good too. I'm back at the restaurant, which is rough. There's definitely withdrawal moments. Like Vermont was so much fun, like so much social interaction, doing so many things with my cast all the time that we were just social, like really, really social. Like once rehearsals were over and once we were kind of like settled into the show a little bit, like we had a lot of drama with the show, like, but once we were a little settled, we just had a 2-hour show to do every night, and the rest of our days and nights were free to just be with each other. And I met so many amazing people, and I actually wrote a rap as my like goodbye to the cast, and you can see that it's on my YouTube page. It's called, I think I called it White River Junction for Real or something. But I wrote a rap and I performed it. I performed it at the cast party. Yeah, I don't have a video of that yet, but I think my friend Antonia got a good like video of me performing it, so hopefully at some point I'll be able to put that up. But yeah, so food was the big thing that I learned about in Vermont. Performing, I learned a lot about being confident in myself and knowing that I have the talent and the ability to really do these things that I want to do. It's not just a pipe dream. Like it's for real, and I know I can do it. I also learned a lot about my testimony of the gospel. Seeing people that I love make choices that I don't necessarily agree with. At the time, like I was in such like mental, emotional turmoil about so many things, partly because of me like throwing out diet and scheduling like completely. It was a great chance for me to reflect and rethink about the choices that I make pertaining to the gospel. And as I saw certain choices play out among my loved ones from the cast, I realized a lot of the reasons why it's good to do what you know is right, and why making the choices that I make play out to be a more peaceful and joyful existence. And I love them all, and I respect their decisions, and but so many things I know I don't agree with, and I've learned that not only just from following a specific commandment, but seeing the consequences in other people's lives is enough for me to know that I don't need to experience those consequences for myself. So, yeah. That was a big part of Vermont, and I love my cast members so dearly. I learned so much from them. My one friend Jacob, like, he was a great cook, and I learned how to make food enjoyable and healthy at the same time. So he like helped me so much on that journey. My friend Samantha, she's so great. She has a wonderful relationship with her family and with her friends. I heard her like at least 3 or 4, 5, 6, several times, like calling up people just to wish them happy birthday. And that's something that I haven't done for so long because I've been so like obsessed with this certain life, this certain like schedule and dieting and exercise and, you know, being so specific. And so she helped me get out of that. She also taught me a lot about how to treat myself well and to not be so down on myself all the time, and to remember that I'm good at things and that I don't need to make up stories about people thinking I'm not. Like, it wouldn't matter if they were. So I learned so much from her. And my other housemate was Peter Mills. We graduated together. And I learned a lot from him about just like being yourself. Just being yourself and not worrying about what anyone else thinks. Because when you're yourself, you can really connect with people because you're connected with you. Yeah. And I loved White River Junction. It was great. But anyway, I'm back in New York and I'm trying to reconnect with my ward and get close to people at church and move on from things of the past, move on to things in the future, and also keep up friendships with people that matter. I have one friend who things aren't exactly as I would wish them to be right now, but that person knows who they are, and if you're watching, I want you to know that I know our relationship is important just as it is, outside from anything else, and that it's my wish and hope that we're able to be close. For real. And I think that's all for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm just getting back into auditioning and working and being here, and I'm so grateful for my Heavenly Father in my life, and that through the up and down and like wonderfulness and difficulty of my experience in Vermont, that He was there to help me sort it out when it was over. I spent a week at Martha's house and kind of like regathered myself, regathered all my thoughts, and had some time to be somewhere where I wasn't in charge of my life, to just remember the things that are important, and to like sort out my experience, and to make a plan for getting back to New York. And I'm here, and I'm good. Things are really good. I miss all of you. Whoever is watching this who hasn't had a chance to see me in person for a while, I miss you so much. It doesn't matter who you are. But for those of you in Utah who would like to see me, I'm going to be in Utah from June 27th to July 7th. And there are a lot of you that I want to see, and I know I'll get overwhelmed if I try to organize that all by myself, but if you're around, if you have time, please call me, 801-618-6699. And I know not very many people watch this, so I'm not worried about putting my number in it. So anyway, I love you all, and I'm glad to be back. And I will see you next week.